Gourmet friends, welcome to Taranaki Foodies, the tastiest show on the Most FM. Here we talk about food, garden, hospitality in our beautiful Taranaki, and of course, music. We are recording our show live in a Facebook group page. Look for Taranaki Foodies. Join in if you like to peek behind the scenes. Our guests today, vibrant and energetic Austrian team, Renate and Heimo Staudinger, owners of Stony River Boutique Hotel, Stony River Food Truck, and the whole bunch of musicians. So how about we'll listen to the music first, but before that we'll ask Heimo to introduce the musicians.
Yeah, hello and welcome to a little session with Stony River Hotel. We have here Aaron and Bernhard. They are two Swiss descendant musicians. They are with us since 5 years now and playing every Wednesday night on our Austrian Schnitzel night.
Awesome.
And they will give you a little sample of their music.
What music are we going to listen today? What is it?
Well, good afternoon, everyone. First, we're going to play the Schnee Waltzer, which is a, we like to say, traditional Swiss piece, but I think all the German-speaking countries claim it. So it's a nice waltz. So we'll start with the Schnee Waltzer.
Ooh, I like that. Okay, let's listen. But fun at the same time. So welcome back to the studio with Alina Williams and Nathan Griffiths. My co-host Warwick Foy is in Wellington today, so it's just me on the microphone and Nathan on the camera today. And of course our guests, Renate and Heimo. Welcome!
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
So tell us about this music. Is there something to tell?
Yeah, this is a typical waltz. You know, in Austria, waltz was born under Johann Strauss, who was one of the big composers. He was in his time, like we would say today, Michael Jackson. So
He was bigger, I
Yeah.
believe.
No,
He
no.
still survived centuries.
Oh no, he probably might be, but he was the same. You know, he had #1 hits, and when he came out with a new waltz, the
Oh.
whole world was dancing it. It was danced in Paris and in France and in Moscow and in Vienna. So he was a real superstar.
It was like hip hop now,
Yeah.
because it was inappropriate. Male and female were so close to each other.
Yes.
It was beyond the boundary, wasn't it?
Everybody did it anyway.
That's why it survived, because people. Yeah. So There are so many musicians in Austria. We knew Joseph Haydn, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, Ludwig van Beethoven, Franz Schubert, and of course Johann Strauss, the king of waltz. And they were all born in Austria. And during the Baroque period, all the Slavic and Hungarian influences through the folk music as well. So what's there in the food in Austria that it brings lots of musicians to life?
I think it's quite the same. You know, in the monarchy, Austria, actually the sun never set in Austria. Austria was so big, even Mexico was a part of Austria. So
Wow.
the sun never set in the empire. So you can imagine everybody who came back to Vienna brought a piece of the culture from these countries. You know, so we are quite clever in Austria now. You know, we turned the Schnitzel Milanese actually into a Vienna Schnitzel. Yeah, so we used the Bohemian apple strudel and made this a Vienna apple strudel, and so it came all together somehow in Vienna, and it was probably a bit more sophisticated cooked than there, and there was a few tweaks and twists done, and it's quite a bit like Kiwi food, There's a lot of influences coming in from China, from India, from overseas, Australia, Europe. And we here as Kiwi chefs, we turn it into something new. We use everything and turn it into, give it a bit of twist. And that's what the Austrians did. And I guess that's why the kitchen is so successful.
So Austria, geographically and historically, is close to many other European cultures. What's significantly different about Austrian food?
First of all, I guess we never made so much fuss about the food.
Ooh, I like that.
Because Italians think pasta is I don't know, the highest thing in the world. It's just eggs and flour and a bit granola. It's nothing really special.
Don't start the Third World War.
No, but the Austrian kitchen is actually quite an honest one. Never forget, 70% of Austria are the Alps. So Austria was actually quite a poor country with small farms, small holes, not really rich. So there was not this highly sophisticated, but a very, very honest food. It was whatever was available was used. Nothing was wasted. If there was a
really
pig,
cool.
It was fed usually until Christmas. It was slaughtered Christmas, and everything was used from snout to tail, even the blood. Nothing got wasted.
Poor piglet, never made Father Christmas.
Never made it. No.
So when my husband and I went to Austria, we had a wonderful experience. We of course had strudel and beautiful Vienna coffee, but one of the most remarkable meals we had was pig lungs. And some other offals as well, but the pig lungs actually they didn't taste like offal. There was cream there were some herbs, not overwhelming, just a little bit complimented. And by mistake, we gave the waiter such a huge tips. So when next day we passed the restaurant and it was closed, but the waiter was going to go home. He actually he turned to be an owner and he opened the restaurant for us because we gave him like a 30 euro tip or something like that.
So much more than the meal actually was, because
it was by mistake. It was like we didn't intend to, but I mean it made someone's day. I mean, it's nice to be those people, not the other one. So do you have a lot of offal dishes in Austrian cuisine?
Yes, absolutely. Like I said, we waste nothing. So we eat from the pig's brain with scrambled eggs, what was in the old days one of a power breakfast, So we eat all the offals, so the kidneys, the livers, the lungs, the hearts. The intestines are used for making sausages. So the brains, the snout, the tail, we make different stews and things out of it. So, and as you said, the pig lungs, it's actually a very traditional meal. It's called Beuschel. And we make it not just out of pig lungs, we use also deer lungs and make the same with a gamey flavor. So,
oh, yeah. Do you have a lot of South African customers? Because South African are huge on meat and they like this?
Yeah, of course, it's a strong influence because South Africans, a lot of them are actually from German or Dutch descent. So they brought the decision, their traditions, if you just look on their on their dried meats, you know. So like we have our cured and dried meats, they have the same too. Yeah, so and sausage making and Currywurst and all this stuff is what you can find on every food trailer in Austria. You can find a Currywurst. So what is a typical South African meal? Yeah, it's actually quite an influence. And there we are back again, you know, in the old empire, where all these good things were coming back to Vienna and were stirred up and reinvented.
Well, the midday meal is the largest meal in all European cuisines. Normally the small breakfast, a huge lunch, and very little supper, the same as in Eastern Europe and Western Europe or anywhere else. So is it the same in your household still now, or is it more like a modern Kiwi time when you're busy during the day and then you come home and have the main meal at night?
No, I guess that has changed quite a bit. You know, it is actually probably on Sunday is the big Sunday lunch, where the whole family comes together. But weekdays it's the same as everywhere. We live busy lives in our household. We eat breakfast and then we eat one meal in the afternoon.
Oh, okay.
Renate and I do that, so we eat actually around 4 o'clock before dinner service starts.
So actually people who own a restaurant eat only twice a day, right?
Yeah, you know, especially when you're a chef, you try and taste and do, and so it's you have to skip one meal at least.
Well, you try during the process, so it's probably
so
enough.
you get enough calories about this.
So often names in some old cuisines are quite misleading because historically it came from one thing and then turned into completely different. So tell us about the dish that once totally just mucked me up. Head cheese. What is head cheese?
Yeah, head cheese is actually something what we would call here more a brine. So it's actually made out of veal heads. So you cook a veal head until it's really soft. You take all of the all meat off, and then you press it, and let it cool down, and then you slice it very thin and marinate it with vinegar and oil and onions, and that's what we call a head cheese. But there are more dramatic ones.
More dramatic ones.
Yes.
Tell us about them.
A vanilla roast.
Oh, what is that?
Yeah, vanilla is actually, you know, in the old days, the rich people's houses smelled of vanilla.
Oh.
And the poor people's houses smelled of garlic. So they called garlic the vanilla of the poor people.
My house stinks of garlic.
So does mine. but that was in the old days. So they called actually this vanilla roast is a garlic roast. You know, this is a roast pork with a lot of garlic.
So when people go and just order something from the very fancy, old-fashioned cuisine, they might just receive something completely different.
Absolutely.
So you are the people who are very inventive. You started so many different collaborations, and I just can't let's try to name them. For example, you have a bus that delivers people from Taranaki, and they go through the jewelry shop to your boutique hotel, or through the art studio to your boutique hotel and restaurant. So how this crazy idea was born?
Because that is something that Renate should tell you about, because that's one of her inventions, is this schnitzel bus.
All right, schnitzel bus. Again, misleading because it's not made of schnitzel, isn't it?
No, that's only the transportation about that. And, Okato and New Plymouth, it's quite a distance, not a big one for us because it's 25 minutes only away. And we were talking, when people were saying, yeah, it's too far away, or two people, to drive out there. And I thought, why not doing like we here in Austria, we do that all the time, that we have a bus tour and the group goes somewhere. And it has not always to be a group that goes 500 kilometers away, but why not provide that was the idea. And I found there were tours, and they really were, this is the first time you think really people would come, and I said, we give it a go. And it was such a success that, absolutely the bus, they started with the 28-seater and then they needed the 54-seater. And it's a little bit seasonal, so now it's a little bit May, June, and July, August, it's craziness.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and, you know, we met actually, and we know since a long time, Rob Wright, who has Moana Ringcraft Moana, excuse me, in Wakura, the jeweler shop, and you have to offer a bit more these days, not just good food and good music. So we thought, let the bus do a stop at the jewelry shop and see how a jeweler works, so they can see Rob and Belinda working there, you know, really making a ring, doing something. It's a real craft, you know, it's an art, it's a craft. Not a lot of people saw a jeweler actually working, so they're quite excited when they come after the jewelers to our place, and Bernhard and Aaron start playing, and you say, how was it? And they say, it was really interesting. For the first time we saw a real diamond in someone's hands, you know, just in a ring. We saw gold really melted, you know, and
Most important, they're hungry. You know, after the workshop, you should call it the booze bus, because some people would use the bus not to drive drunk. So
yeah, but we don't want to call it a booze bus.
no, schnitzel is much more
Schnitzel
schnitzel. So you have these festivals, like European culture festivals, and it started with the Harvest Festival, and now in winter you have a midwinter Christmas market. Come on, it's 6 months till Christmas. What's going on?
And it's only because of New Zealand. Because when we came to New Zealand, we didn't even know there is a midwinter Christmas. And midwinter Christmas, and then we thought, okay, everybody was asking for a honey and orange glazed ham, trifle, what I really love.
Oh.
I'm in love with trifle. And then we said, you know, the German community said, you know, that's the only thing we love New Zealand, but we really miss Christmas. So the spirit of coming together, you know, when you have 30 degrees, there is no spirit of Christmas. You know, it's
not for us.
not for us, because it's like, phew. And so that was the idea to start with. And when we did our first one, we said, you know, we ask people to come to celebrate with us. And we said, you know, it's the first market far out. So if 200, 300 people would come, we would be over the moon, you know. And
Yeah, we had 1,600 or 700 showing up, so it was really.
it was unbelievable. So the demand is here, and the people loved to sit together with a glass of mild wine, you know, and the gatherings. It was cold, it was blowing, and everybody was like in this, and the mild wine in your hand, and the German bratwurst with sauerkraut, and the lights, and we kept it totally plastic free. So,
Awesome.
so really, you know, whoever is there sees the decoration is only in gold, silver, red, and green, and all our stall holders told us they did extremely good. You know, they really.
I also think that in Europe we have food for the cold weather and food for the hot weather.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
Christmas is normally a time when you consume this food that you kind of anticipated to have during cold weather. So that's probably what our cultures are missing as well,
Like-
because you can't enjoy hot borscht, for example, during the hot summer.
But I guess this is why the Kiwis actually invented midwinter Christmas, to enjoy their ham, that you don't really enjoy at 30 degrees in December. But now it's cold and nice, and you have your honey glazed ham and oven roasted vegetables and potatoes, and afterwards a trifle and 2 or 3 glasses of
And we
beautiful
have very interesting
mulled wine.
questions from young kids, because why is Santa coming now?
Yeah.
And we had to tell them, because he's checking on you. And, you know, there are so many things going on. It's beautiful and interesting.
The same thing is actually with the harvesting feast. We were talking to Kiwis and said we planned that, and they said, you know, I remember in the old days we had that. We celebrated our harvest, but it got lost. You know, in Europe we have these young farmers. They keep that all upright. They keep that alive. And so we thought, okay, we jump in, we organize that, and again, and now we see that there is a harvesting feast in Ingelbrook going on, and there's a harvesting feast somewhere.
You started the trend.
Yeah, that's good, isn't it?
Yeah,
So
awesome.
bring back old traditions. Yeah, bring back.
Make us all richer with the
Yeah.
traditions of the world. So when exactly is this mid-Christmas?
Yeah, it's next Saturday on the 13th of July from 11 till 5, 11 a.m. till
Do
5
people need to
p.m.
book? How do
No,
they-
no, just come.
Mm.
The Okato Lions organize the parking. We have a gold coin donation for parking, and everything else is free.
Bus?
Just come in.
Schnitzel bus is coming?
No, we have no bus. I was sadly not available on this weekend, but just come. We have enough of parking. The neighbor
special
farmer
offer.
opened a few of his paddocks, and Renate organized a raffle for the.
Taranaki Cancer Society.
Mm.
You know, we want to be. It's all about community and all about work together, and so gathering with families and the tradition of this mild wine, sitting together, enjoying. Father Christmas is coming.
Do you
And
already
the
have?
boys are playing, of
The
course.
boys are
Yes.
playing.
Did you book Father Christmas? Probably he didn't have a lot of engagements at this time
Yeah,
of
but
the year.
he's sporty. He comes. He said he will come on an electric skateboard this year. So we will see.
Woohoo!
Yeah, he does. He has a bit.
Twice.
He has a bit loose weight, you know.
Oh gosh, not every electric scooter can handle the person who was carried by 12 reindeers.
And the Taranaki Harmony Choir
Oh
is also
wow.
there. So it's a lot of
Chorus.
chorus is coming. So it's a lot going on to entertain, but on a very traditional family based. You know that everybody has a good time. No drinking because you can have fun without
Getting
too
drunk.
much.
Too much.
Not that you
A
have
little bit
enough.
still
A little
okay.
bit is still nice.
So you brought so many different ideas and you brought to fruition. So I read a little bit about Heimo. His profile says that he's from Salzburg, he was in Florida studying, and then now he's in Taranaki. How happened that you all over the world traveled to our little place?
Yeah, this is. This is a story that only life can write. I always said I want to live by the sea. So, but first, we got married, we had kids, we stayed in Austria, very good health system, education system. Renate's parents were there, and she's the only girl, and so it was actually never the right time to leave Austria. So, and then we came to a point where we said, okay. Looks like the kids don't move out, so let's. So
We are moving out.
So we are moving out, and we actually had friends in Florida.
Mm.
So and we visited them before, and we said, okay, why not? And so we were going to Florida, lived and worked there for nearly 2 years.
What did you do there?
We ran a beautiful restaurant. It was called Moby Dick's. It was
Ooh,
actually
not very Austrian.
no, but it was steak and seafood. It was
Okay.
just really, really beautiful restaurant. Small, very, very nice. And yeah, it was quite nearly impossible to get a green card without $1 million that we didn't have. So after 2 years, we said, it's just too much hassle with this whole visa thing. It's always in the air. Do you get it? Do you not? So we actually left, got a good job offer, and we're going to Iceland.
Oh my gosh, Florida to
Yeah,
Iceland.
from very hot Florida to very cold Iceland.
So sounds like a punishment. Excuse me, Icelanders.
It was actually really interesting. I was running the kitchen at the big hotel. Renate was running front of house, and it was amazing. We were just there when all these northern lights were happening. It was cold. We were sitting in 38-degree hot pots under the sky, outside temperature -20, and you sit there and you watch the northern lights. What can be more exciting?
Absolutely.
And the food is amazing.
In Iceland.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Lots
They
of
have
seafood.
lots of seafood,
And
lots
the
of
lamb.
beautiful meats. The lambs are just amazing. They're quite the quality down here, good lamb. And so we learned a lot up there, and from there we were going to Norway. So Scandinavia, Norway was beautiful, amazing. Working there for a year. Then we're going a bit closer to Switzerland, and lived in a very special village there. It was called Saas-Fee. It's completely car-free. No
Car-free.
combustion engines allowed.
How did you get your
You
deliveries?
get there, you get it by electric cart.
Ah.
And you go to this village, you have to park your car in a big parking house outside, and then they pick you up in electric carts and electric taxis, and you either walk or you go by electric cart. So there's was quite an yeah, it was a different approach to the environment, you know. And then we loved the area, and some friends said, "Have you ever thought about New Zealand?" I said, "New Zealand? Yeah, I know 3 things about New Zealand, huh? Green-lipped mussels, veal, and kiwi fruits, and it's on the other side of the world." But he planted that in our head, and Renate did a bit research, and we were looking, and we said, "Okay, let's have a look at New Zealand." So we bought a return ticket, came over here 10 years ago, and never left. So that's it. We fell in love with New Zealand. You know,
Oh, this is a lovely story. Try the whole world, try the cuisines, and then find the best place.
Yeah, I think that's really what you can say, and
Yeah.
doesn't it get much better than Taranaki, where you have on one side the mountain, on the other side the sea?
Yes,
So
absolutely.
it is just amazing.
This is the perfect time, you know. On a day, there is a perfect time to listen to the music. So it is this point. So, what piece are we listening now?
Oh, well, we're going to play Alpine Connection because Bertie and I are Alpine Connection, and it's a Swiss piece because we're both part of the Swiss community here. So here's Alpine Connection.
Marching and dancing and some sort of. So welcome back to the studio of Taranaki Foodies. Our guests today, Renate and Heimo Staudinger. So it's this exciting time of the program where we do our food tasting. Our guests brought some food, and now they're going to get an honest review on air from our team. Unfortunately, Warwick Foy is away in Wellington, so I'll have to taste a little bit and do a review, and also Nathan is going to do it. Just run through it. What's on the menu?
Yeah, first we have, I have some home cured pork. So what's there is some chili speck.
Oh, I love that.
And then I have some pancetta, so Italian style, and then we have one that's, the one call it the Black Forest, the other call it the South Tyrol. So it's cold smoked and dried for 3 months. And yep, this is all nitrate free, sugar free, gluten free, dairy free. After that, we have some chicken schnitzel, of course.
You
It's
can't
not-
go Austrian cuisine without chicken schnitzel.
Yeah, and for the sweet, we have some apple strudels afterwards.
Oh,
so-
yeah. Yeah, I remember that in Vienna you get apple strudel everywhere, and there is the smell of a coffee in every corner, and there is the smell of a fresh vanilla and apple there as well. So, but every recipe is slightly different. You make your own one, right?
Yeah, we make actually the apple strudel in a different way. We make it in little bags, so we can actually bake it to order. So we
Oh,
don't
right.
pre-bake it. Whenever you order apple strudel in the restaurant, it's baked fresh to order. So-
Awesome. So, it is quite an interesting journey you're going on through life and through your cooking and other things. I've been watching Renate for probably months or maybe years, so I knew of you and I visited you a couple of times, several times in fact. So recently on a Facebook page you said that you lost 15 kilograms, is that right?
No, it's already 17.
70 kilograms. Okay, it's not. It wasn't your goal originally, right? Was it a goal to lose weight, or was it a goal to actually become healthier?
It was not about the weight. It was really about get healthier. You know, because I felt I was always very, thin, slim, and the last 4 years, I would say, the part of the women, I gained so much weight, and I felt so tired and so less energy, and I said, I have to do something. It's not working. And the doctor, when I went to the doctor, they always said, my blood test, everything says I'm fine, because I only ate too much from the good stuff. And
Probably the same as me.
like all, we live a very good life, and I said, I want to challenge myself and do something totally different. I want to eat what my body needs and not what my scale says. And it's unbelievable that I eat so healthy. I'm not hungry anymore, and for me the most thing was sugar.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
totally sugar addicted. So I cut the sugar totally out and eat a little bit of my sweet treat, a lot of
So,
fruits.
what's your sweet treat of the moment?
You will not believe, I think only Austrian will know that, it's a semolina pudding
Okay.
with chocolate and butter.
We have semolina pudding in Russia. We don't add chocolate, but it's butter and cream and milk.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah, but it's very similar. And this is my treat, what I eat once a week, a big one.
Or once a week.
Yeah, once a week,
Oh.
because that's my, it's not a small portion. But during the week I only cut it down to really a small piece and I don't want to starve. I don't want to starve.
Did someone make your diet, or did you just go with what your body wants, or did you follow one of the popular trends at the moment? What is it?
Yeah, the thing is, I like we said, we have keto, there's so many good diets, and I said, honestly, I'm not following diets, I follow my
Instincts?
guts.
Yeah.
And I tell you, this is what helps me, because I said to Heimo, it's time for life to change the lifestyle, because we have everything. We have everything, but we have to eat it on the right time, the right way, and we keep it really like we always did, no preservatives at all.
Well, you look beautiful. If I wouldn't meet you in person and I would just hear your voice, I would think that you are a 14-year-old girl, because you giggle a lot. Young people giggle, and every time I talk to you, you giggle. I'll go and talk to Renate, and she giggles. And so it's
Because
kind
I'm
of
a very positive person, and I'm very blessed with a wonderful husband, a wonderful family, wonderful people around me. I tell you, that's very important. And so I know I'm going to 60, so I feel wonderful. I don't care that I'm not 30 years old, because I am who I am, and I will never be different. Who don't like this, it's sorry for your luck, because I am like.
Wow, you've done really well, and you're very brave. I bought a calendar last October, and I saw you nude. So it was a calendar girls. There were 8 of you, I think, or 12 of you. 12 of you. Yes, and each of you posed with the most favorite thing, and you were in a Stony River Boutique Hotel. You were no, we were
No,
we were
I was,
somewhere else.
no, we were in the house
In
from
Barbara
Because
Olsen's house.
Yeah, she invited us,
Mhm.
and I tell you the story. She called me on a Monday lunchtime, and she said, "What you do to help the hospice to be for a calendar?" And I didn't even realize it was because we were so busy. And then I realized, and I said, you know, first I thought, are you crazy? Are you insane? And then I thought, you know what? It's not about other people. It's about me, you know, to be brave and to do something good. And if sometimes you have to go on a pathway, that's challenging.
Yes.
And it was
She
a-
needed a bit motivation because she came to me and said, "You don't believe what I have done." I just agreed to a calendar girl picture. Oh my god! Oh my god!
I can imagine how it happened. Barbara Olsen phoned you. You just agreed because she was a good friend.
It's a long time,
Yeah.
and so I thought, yeah, of course I help you, but I didn't even hear her really, you know, because we had a bus of 50 people in there, and then I said, yeah, no worries, I'm here, I'm in.
And then you came to her house and she said, "Take off your clothes."
She prepared us wonderfully, and she did an amazing job
Yeah.
because we had the hairdresser, we had the you know, for makeup artist there, the photographer. She made us feeling so, and we bonded. The 12 women, it was amazing.
How did you feel about your body being seen by other people?
It's, you know, the first, it was very interesting. We were all sitting together, and you could see in all, you know, even if we were not talking, in each, the eyes, the face, not fear, what did we do? You know? And then honestly, after 2 hours of chatting and talking and know why, and everybody said, like, you know, are we fabulous? We do that, you know. And honestly, it was like, it was so normal. It was nothing. It was no fake. It was really normal. We are what we are. We were giggling and have fun and enjoyed ourselves a lot because we said, that's the nature. We don't have to hide anything.
So your family saw it, your children saw it, your family from Austria saw it.
The first thing my mother-in-law said, you sent me, of course, a calendar.
I buy one, of
A
course.
Bible, of course.
That's wonderful support, isn't it? It means that they support whatever you decide. Your decision was.
I got even nipple warmers from customers. They said they went to the shop and they were leaving that day and they heard it, you know, and they said, and the first thing they brought me this possum, and then they said, and you sent me all, and I had to send all my guests, my female guests, the calendar. So it was a lot of fun.
So sometimes I take a group of Taranaki Foodies and we go and photograph food at different venues and review it on different platforms. So there are 4 major platforms for reviewing. It's Zomato, TripAdvisor, Google Maps, and which one is Yelp? Yelp is the 4th one. Is there one that is most kind of useful for you? Did you get a lot of traffic from any of the platforms?
Yeah, I would say the most is when people, because we are out of the main streets or the main road, so when people look us up, and they all go mostly on TripAdvisor, because the TripAdvisor is that people really tell other people, you know, why did we end up there? We were totally blown away because most people don't even expect such a high quality food, such a good service and everything. So I think this is all the others, booking.com, you know, also, and of course Facebook is for me, for our thing, I would say, the fastest way to go to people and tell them what's on.
Who's the natural communicator in the team of your family? Is it Heimo or you?
That's Renate. Renate is, yeah, I guess it's a woman thing.
I don't think it's depending on gender.
No,
yeah.
but I grew up with 4 brothers, so I know, to step up and have a voice.
Because it's a job, but yes, normally users of
Yeah.
a Facebook are dominantly females, but I mean, if you have to do it for a job, anyone have to make an
I
effort.
know, I place, I put most of the recipes and pictures
Yeah.
of food and the daily takeaway specials and daily specials, chef specials. I do that, of course, but Renate is then for all the other things, the party pictures and I don't know, the communication and all that is actually her part. She's
Oh, awesome.
she has, well, yeah, it comes natural to her,
Obviously, you've been working together as a team for a long time. Is it easier to work with someone with whom you basically 24 hours a day?
I would say we are very blessed that we can do that, because we it's very interesting. But this is business, this is private, and we never mess up.
Don't mix it up.
No.
So at home, no talks about work.
The talks about work never stop.
Okay.
No,
That's healthy.
we live this together. We see something and we have ideas, and it's a perfect match.
We actually say more. It's not really work. It's a
No.
lifestyle. We choose a lifestyle. If you're running a small business like ours, far away from town, 25 minutes drive. That's why we have to be creative. We have our food trailer that we started to promote our business, and it became a business by itself now. That's why we do this smoked meats and sell and do the markets. We have to promote our business out there. We are not in the CBD. We cannot just open the doors and wait that people walk in. We have to offer something. We have to offer live music. We have to offer the schnitzel bus, the tours, the food trailer, the takeaway meals, the keto
And
meals.
it works
So
out very well.
so it's a lifestyle. Yeah, we are.
It's a very New Zealand concept, isn't it?
Yeah.
Lifestyle.
Absolutely, we have to be there 24/7. We have people staying overnight, so tomorrow breakfast early, and then they want to chat and check out probably by 10:30. So yeah, and tomorrow we're on the seaside market. Yeah,
We are everywhere.
You're everywhere. That's awesome. So while you were talking, I tried some of your food. I tried some cured meat, and it was really nice. It wasn't too salty, but it was it had this like a slight smoky taste without overwhelming it. It was like naturally cured, and there was not too much moist in it. It was just enough to make it soft. And chicken schnitzel was amazing. The covers was still very crunchy and was thick enough to protect the chicken from being too dry. But at the same time, it's well cooked underneath. And we'll see whether Nathan would want to add something to it.
I tried the meats. They taste delicious. I don't know what process you use to smoke it, but it makes it taste great. The schnitzel was delicious. Well made, I think. A little bit crunchy, like Elena has told us. The meat tastes good in the schnitzel as well. And I'm just eating now one of these apple strudels. Fresh fruit, crunchy dough. It's delicious.
I tried some of your apple strudels at the markets where you were with your food truck, and my husband and my son really loved that because I think it's a very European combination. It appeals to many tastes. It's simple, as you said, honest. You know exactly what it is because you can taste ingredients, but at the same time they create a symphony together. So very nice, very, very nice. So we were talking about symphony. I think it's about time to listen to our third piece. Do you want to say a few words about it?
Yeah, this is the Trumpkin Echo, which is Oberkleiner music, which is traditionally Tyrolean, so throughout Austria, parts of Germany, Bavarian, going to the Eastern European. So it's quite well known through that area of Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. thank you for listening for Taranaki Foodies, and thank you Renate and Heimo for finding time in your busy timetable and coming here to the studio and bringing music with you and bringing this beautiful food too. So tune in to 100.4 FM every Saturday at 4 p.m. Remember, there is a live recording of the Today interview online on Taranaki Foodies Facebook group. Meet you next Saturday on airwaves, my lovely gourmet friends. Bye bye.